nothing but good vibes today. Let me tell you, my friend. You ever get one of those days where just all signs point to yes? You get those signs from the universe, you know? Like connections, things link up and you're like, okay, we are on the right path. You're probably thinking, what the fuck are you talking about, Katie? You make no sense. You're probably stoned. I'm like, no, listen up. Let me tell ya what I'm talking about. This morning when I was taking my boy to school, we were walking up and he said, Mom, what kind of day is it going to be like today? And I'm like, it's going to be a good day. He's like, but what's it going to be like? 5-year-olds ask the cutest questions, eh? And this little girl walks by and it said, good vibes on her t-shirt. Hashtag good vibes. Has to be the hashtag, of course. And I'm like, well, it's going to be a day full of good vibes. He's like, what does that mean? Another girl walked by and it said love all over her shirt. Like I said, it's going to be full of love. And he's like, oh, okay. He was good with that. Later on, I'm talking to my man and he said he's feeling the good vibes today. I'm like, you know what? That's it. And I told him that connection. Had other connections I saw online with other people. And it just, when you see those connections line up, a lot of people just turn a blind eye to it. But I like to see it like the universe is tipping a hat at me saying, you're on the right track there, lady. I don't know why the universe is talking like John Wayne or a very poor suburban white girl version of John Wayne. Well, it's raining right now, and you know what? It feels really nice. Because I know we are going to have a little bit of a heat streak coming on, or heat wave. Heat wave! Oh, fuck. It's a fucking heat wave. You know what sucks? How easily everybody is offended these days. When I was younger, people used to, you would strive to offend people, and that was just kind of like, I don't know, I guess in the media, in the market, and like, it was constantly how far can, you know, the line be pushed. But now it's like, it's been pushed too far, and now, I don't know if, I feel like I'm totally out of touch with like the college and high school point of view of life now. I'm offended by how easily everyone else is offended. It fucking sucks. Have a sense of humor. Come on. But what made me think about that was thinking about how the YouTube channel for the Legion of Skanks podcast was canceled. And it said it like violated the terms, or it was offensive, or it was like, it gave a few options as to this could be why. It didn't actually say why, what the issue was. Obviously, it was probably somebody complained because they're super offensive. Brita. Because you can't always trust your government to filter your water properly. Uh-oh, probably just been red flag now because I said that. Saying how it sucks that the Legion of Skanks podcast on YouTube got canceled. So that really blows. I hope it goes back on there. I know I talked about this before, but I was just thinking about it, and that's why it's just like, it pisses me off how fucking sensitive people are these days. Like my baby's ears. Damn it. Man, a lot of things just went through my head when I was getting my baby back to sleep. There he's having little nappers. Poor guy's getting his 2 front teeth here on the bottoms, just beside the middle ones. Having a rough go at her. A lot of things just went through my mind there when I was getting to sleep. First, I started thinking about, it's so weird, your train of thought, isn't it? If you actually stop, think, backtrack, why you thought about everything in the sequence that you did. First, to start it off, I said something in my mind that was in an accent, and I just wanted to let you know that I do love doing accents. However, I am quite terrible at it, especially when I'm trying to do a specific accent. I guess my favourite would be a Cockney accent, because we do love to go down Portobello Road. However, whenever I try to do one accent, it often goes from like one nationality to another. So like my Scottish, Irish, and Australian would all blend into one, and British would all blend into one terrible like goulash of a fucking shitty accent, eh? And I mean no disrespect. It's just enjoyable to do. It rolls off the tongue a little bit nicer than the North American way to speak. And then my train of thought led me to how my old boyfriend I used to date, his dad was from Scotland. And he had this thick Scottish accent. And I felt so bad because I thought this guy hated me the amount of times I had to ask him to repeat himself because I couldn't understand what he said half the time. It was so thick. So I don't know if he did ever like me or not. He was just that type of guy maybe who's just very like old school, sort of old country vibe to him, I guess. Anyway, his mom was super sweet. And then that led me thinking to how I was lucky and I got along with all of my boyfriend's moms along the way. If you're looking to get along with your spouse's mother or anybody, whoever's in the household, if you're there cooking, they're cooking and preparing a meal, offer to help in the kitchen, offer to help clean up, offer to help do whatever it is that they're doing. And most of the time people will probably say no, but they may put you to work and then you go in it and you help them, and it could be an extra like bonding time moment for you to get to know that person. That's what I would always offer to do, and I just think that my boyfriend's mom's always appreciated that. But yeah, I was lucky. I got along with all of them, and I got really lucky in that my mother-in-law now, she's super sweet and she's always been like a second mom to me. I actually met her at the same call center that I met Sean. Now, Sean and I, it was both of our first day. We started in the same training class together. And actually, I saw him sitting there first, and I'm like, damn. So I followed him, and I sat right next to him. The room was completely empty, and he's sitting there on the far corner. I picked the chair right next to him. So hopefully, I'm sure that was a big enough signal right there. Actually, from that day, we started talking, and we never looked back. First 3 days, we said we loved each other. And after the first week, we had sex. But he remembers it differently. He thinks it was much sooner than that. It all together was pretty quick anyway. But yeah, man, this next month will be 14 years looking back now when we first met. And we got married last year. So I remember working away. It was at a call center. I just got off the phone. I think I'm typing notes or something. And I hear behind me, she's gonna bear my grandchildren. I get up and I turn and look around. Sure enough, there's Leanne Baker standing, now Van Vliet, standing there talking to another woman. I don't know who she was. And she was talking about me. She was right. Popped out 2 of them. She wants a third one to come along. Say, no. Third one ain't coming out of here, lady. And then where did my train of thought go from there? Oh. Yeah, I was thinking like, I'm working really hard to get back in shape now. I don't want to have another baby. And I don't care if that sounds selfish. My friend, Laura Donna Baxter. Laura, I love you. So I'm totally gonna give you props on this one and give you a shout out. Because what you say was true, and I agree with this. We were talking about something, and we were talking about it from different ends of the spectrum. And I love when you can talk to somebody about a matter that you look at completely differently, of different opinions on, but you can still talk respectfully about it, right? So anyway, what we were talking about was having babies, and this was before I had Logan, our firstborn. And I knew at that time that I wanted to have kids. It was always a goal of mine in life. I wanted to be a mom. And she said she wanted to be a mom too, but she wanted to adopt. Now, she herself, I hope you don't mind people telling me, she didn't seem to mind telling me when we met. Laura's adopted, and so she wants to adopt as well herself, which I think is very honorable, and more people should do it. It actually, me and my husband talked about this as well. Part of us almost feels ashamed for not adopting because there's so many kids in need. And we all know that the adoption whole system is really fucked up, and it's just so sad and heartbreaking to know that there's children out there without parents, and if they're going foster home to foster home, and yada yada yada. It's just a really sad story. So anyway, part of me feels guilty because I didn't help one of those kids. But then there's the other part of me that's like, we wanted to have our own children and have our own bloodline carry on and our own. And you know what? Maybe that's like super egotistical for someone to say. And maybe it is. And maybe it's super egotistical as well as like Laura, what she said as another point was, and I'm not shitting on her. I agree with her. She said she worked really hard on keeping fit and trying to have a good body and you know, taking care of herself. She doesn't want to ruin her body by giving birth, and not just giving birth, the whole pregnancy. And some people could say, well, that's super selfish in itself too. So it could be your shit out of luck both ways. It's selfish to want to carry on your bloodline. It's selfish to not want to give birth because you want to keep your body looking perfect. But at the same time, they're both equally like okay to do. Like I have no regrets that we carried on our bloodline and we have our kids our own genetics. That's awesome. I'm proud of that. And we had them when we planned to. I'm very proud of that too. Not to shit on anybody who does it differently. You know what? As they say, the world it takes different strokes to turn this world and make this world go round. So, and then with the body image, getting back to what Laura said about that, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that either. You know why? Having a baby, and I said this after my first one, having a baby ages your body like 10 years. Fuck. My back, I felt like I was 27 when I had my first baby. Definitely felt like 37. Had a second one. During all of that struggle, it was harder the second time around because I was older. It was 5 years later. And so yeah, it definitely is a battle on your body. Anyone who's had kids will agree with you. And the whole, everything from putting on the extra weight during the pregnancy to the labor itself. That can be sometimes a really long recovery depending on how it goes. Again, 100%, I don't blame her on not wanting to go through that. Maybe, I just thought about this. Maybe the difference is she naturally has a very model-esque physique. Like she's probably close to 6 foot, gorgeous, gorgeous girl, long brown hair or dark black. And anyway, I'm not quite there. I'm 5'2". I accepted a long time ago that I would never be a supermodel, and I'm okay with that. So I became the funny girl. Wah, wah, wah. That's alright. I still get mine.
What am I talking about?
I get my heavy. And I'm thankful to say we do have a very good and positive relationship. And it's a healthy, comical life. And we lean on each other. I'm talking about my husband. And you know what? Our sex life is awesome. So I don't mind going ahead and saying that and propping up to that because you know what? I think that's important in a relationship. I really do. I was once told that that's not really important in relationships, but it is. It really is. And it doesn't matter, like, if you're gay, straight, or whatever in between. If you're with somebody, I think that's a big, important factor of it is your sex life. Because that's where our natural primal urges and desires like are and live within us. And that's where they need to be met. And that's where, I don't know, some of these crazy fetishes these days, man, that's just like entertaining to kick back and watch what's rolled out next. You don't hear too much about furries anymore. A lot of foot fetishes out there. I don't know, there's a lot of crazy ones. But that's not new anymore. Like the whole foot fetish, that whole thing is old school, right? I'm sure there's crazy new things out now. I'm sure there's like elbow fetishes. Oh my God, I hope no one's going crazy spanking over my elbows right now. Yesterday I saw a younger girl who's in the same school as my son. She's grade 8 though, he's kindergarten, but she was helping out in his class and so we were chit-chatting a little bit. She was telling me how she has aspirations to want to be the next female Eminem, she said. And I thought that was really sweet. And she was like kind of hesitating because she said that like some people are just being dicks at school. Which, man, and who doesn't miss those days, eh? Like, oh, people being a fucking asshole to you. No one wants to go back to that. So I just told her, you know what? It doesn't matter what you do in life. There's gonna be people rooting for you, and there's gonna be people rooting against you. Do what you want to do and just go for it. That's when she told me that she wanted to do the rap thing. I'm like, fucking go for it. Yeah, if you have rhymes, like put them down. Go for it. Don't let anyone stop you. And I'm like, use your angst and your fucking how angry you are about these other fucking kids being dicks and put it towards your lyrics and just funnel it into that. She's like, yeah. She's like, I will. So, you know, I hope she does. And that would be really cool if I could see her name up there later on. That's what you gotta do. When you see somebody who, you know, they want to reach for the stars, just give them a little bit of encouragement. Be like, fucking reach up there, girl, and grab it. Or boy, or whatever whatever your pronoun preference is. caterpillar, sparkle, sunshine, go for it. Even if you want to be a caterpillar and a sparkle and a sunshine. Maybe in your next life, guy. Maybe in your next life. But surprise, surprise! In this life, you're either born male, female, hermaphrodite, or nothing. I don't know if that ever happens. I'm sure it has. There's been mutations crazier than that, I'm sure. And you know what? I'm not saying anything against someone who wants to change over. If you honestly feel comfortable in the opposite sex, or go for it. Make that switch. Do what you want to do to make you feel happy, to just be yourself day to day, because that's the most freeing part. That's really ultimately what everybody wants, right? You just want to be able to get up in the morning, be yourself, not feel like you have to put on some fucking mask to impress so-and-so. You want to go outside and be able to hold your chin up high and just be you. And be proud to be you. And it doesn't matter what that definition of you is, you want to be able to express yourself regardless and not be hated on. I get it. That's what everyone's goal is. But I think in the effort to achieve that goal, a lot of people are throwing hatred out at anybody who shows a fucking millimeter of intolerance. When really it's not necessarily just intolerance, but ignorance, which means not educated, not quite there on your level to accept change. Wow, I can't believe that came out so eloquently. Anyway, geez, didn't mean to go on a little bit of a rant. Canada Day weekend's coming up this weekend. So we're gonna get together with some friends and family and watch some fireworks. It's gonna be a good time. So cheers to anybody else who's celebrating. I feel like I'm not fully Canadian because I've never been to Ottawa. What's wrong with me? I grew up in the Niagara region along Lake Erie, and I've been to Niagara Falls, Ontario. We have the better side of the falls. My dad would boast about that when I was a kid. I remember him saying that. Like, yeah, but we got the better view. But I have not been to Ottawa. So, of course, I've been to Toronto, CN Tower a couple times. We've been on school trips there. Went on the glass floor. That was crazy. That would be interesting to do the whole lean out bungee thing. I'm a bit of a thrill seeker, I'd admit that. I've always loved roller coasters as a kid. Oh my god, I thrived on that. And the taller I got, the better rides I could go on. It was such a good feeling. Carnivals, I'd be on the sledgehammer, all that shit. And I remember when I was a young kid, my parents would be on the baseball team. And every now and then in the summer, we'd go camping at the one person's house, and they lived close to a skydiving place. So we'd see the skydivers jumping out and the parachutes open up, and I just thought it was the coolest thing. I'm like, I am going to do that. When I was 18 years old, what happened? Bring up Scott again. This was a dick move. I apologize, Scott. Okay, what I did is, it was his birthday was coming up, but we had broke up. And we were still friends, and for some reason I felt the need to show him what I got for his birthday, which I didn't end up giving him. I returned for the money. I don't know why I said returned. I returned it for the money. I got him a pair of speakers. They were 2 10-inch speakers in the cabinet, ready to go for his, I think he was saving up for a car, or he had just got one. Anyway, man, that was a bitchy move. I don't know why I did that. I'm sorry. That was so stupid. But I'm like, hey, yeah, so this is what I got you, but I'm returning it. And then I used that money to go skydiving. So that was the first time I went skydiving. So, sorry, Scott, but thank you at the same time for not being like, you could have probably knocked me out and took him, but no, I probably could have taken you. Just kidding. No, we left on good terms, and that was probably one of the best times that I did out of my past relationships. Later on, I was in college, and I was taking journalism, and I wrote a column about skydiving, and just the thrill and excitement, and how it felt to be up in a plane, and that was my first time in an airplane, first time skydiving. So, I tend to do things for the first time, I pretty much go balls out. I don't know why. So yeah, skydiving. fucking love that shit. My oldest son, Logan, he showed interest in skydiving. So I told him I would go with him when he's 18. So I'm really excited for that. So I'm gonna get pumped up. But you know what? For some reason, have you ever like had a gut instinct about something and you don't follow it and you're like, shit, I should have followed my gut instinct. So then the next time you do, you have your gut instinct about something, you follow it, and then everything's fine. And you think, was that just in my head? Would something bad still have happened if I didn't follow my gut instinct? You never fucking know, right? You never know. Anyway, what I'm getting at is I did have a third opportunity to go skydiving. And it was probably like another year or two after I went the second time. Oh shit, I never finished that story. Okay, the second time I went skydiving. So when I was in college, I wanted to do a story about that skydiving facility because that's where I went for it and that's where I wanted to promote because they were great for me, and it's from my hometown, Dunnville, Ontario. Although they don't have it from that location anymore. So I went and I interviewed the guy, and he was really great about it, and got a good interview, good photos. It came out to be a really great story. After I was done interviewing him, he offered for me to take a free jump. And I'm like, oh my God, should I do it? But as there's so many sides, you know, a battle is going on in my mind as he's asking me this. I'm like, fuck, should I take it or not? Because if I take it, that's going against like the ethics of journalism. You should not, it's pretty much like a bribe, right? So it's like, oh, write a good story about me because I'm giving you this for free. So it's like trying to buy good publicity, which is against journalist ethics. But I was gonna give him good publicity anyway. That's what I was there for. So I'm like, he's not really buying my opinion. It's over. He already has me in his favor. So I took the jump, and it was awesome. When you fucking get in that airplane, like the first time I climb in, I was the first one in the back because they were gonna let the heavier guys out first. So I'm wedged in the very back of this little like Cessna airplane. I can't remember the number. And in front of me was Christopher Priestman, which is my sister's ex-husband's brother, and he went with me, and then in front of him was another guy who was like a regular who went all the time. There was like this crew of like skydiving guys who would come there and camp every summer, and there's chicks there too. I just said guys to generalize the group. Anyway, so okay, so it was me, Christopher, one of the regulars, our instructor, which was a chick, and then the pilot. So out first goes the regular, and he jumps out. He's like, yeah, and he's like somersaulting backwards, looking all cool. I'm like, I want to do that. Not quite there yet. It was my first jump. Then our instructor gets Christopher out to jump. And to get out, guys, what you have to do, there's a strut that runs, I'll do it this way. So here's the airplane. There's a strut that goes from here down to the body of the plane, and then the tire's right there as well. And there's a cover, like a hubcap kind of over the tire. And then the doors opens right there. So the instructor's there with the door holding the door open. She grabs onto our pilot chute. We have to shimmy over. I watched Christopher do it first, then I had to do it. Shimmy over on, take one step out onto the wheel, shimmy over onto the strut of the plane to the point where you're just hanging on and your feet are dangling. And you're 10,000 feet up in the air. You're like, I'm gonna fucking die if things don't work out the way they're supposed to work out. But that's the thrill of it. That's why I'm fucking here, right? My heart's just going just thinking about it. Anyway, so Christopher goes first. I watch him, and he's screaming, ah! His chute opens up. I'm like, okay, thank God, Christopher's alive. Okay, God, fuck, it's my turn now. All right. This is my first time in this loud-ass airplane, which, by the way, I didn't even tell that story right, because as it starts off, I'm wedged back there. It's like I'm in a little metal tin can, and all I hear is the fucking loud engine start, and it's rattling the walls. I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna die. What am I doing? I'm like, this is crazy. You still feel it start to move up, or just go forward, and you can feel the ground, you feel the bumps, and all of a sudden, off the fucking ground. And then boom, out goes out that first guy, out goes out Christopher, and then it's my turn. And I'm dying inside. 50% of me wants to do this, 50% of me wants to shit myself. So I'm like, fuck, I'm not shitting myself because that's embarrassing and I'm 18 years old and I'm not gonna let that happen. So I'm gonna do this. Fucking A. I've been hyping myself up all my life. I'm gonna fucking do this. So I did it. I pulled out, stepped out there onto the strut. I'm dangling. Oh my God. I look over to her. I don't remember her name, but I have a picture. I'll find a picture and I'll put it in here. I look over, she says, she's holding my pilot chute. She's like, okay, 3, 2, 1, let go. I'm like, I don't want to. She goes, do it, let go. I'm like, fuck it. Okay. And I just let go. Oh my God. The amount of adrenaline that's coursing through your body at that moment is like no other. I'm sorry, baby, but coming isn't that exciting. It's a very, very close second, but it's not that exciting. Not just because it's your life. Your life is fucking just tossed up in the air like a coin. Bing! Is it gonna be heads or tails? Heads or tails? Heads or tails? Heads or tails? I don't know. So I'm free falling. Count to 10. 1, 2. It feels like I'm floating in water. 3, 4, because you're kind of, it's like a weightless sensation. Don't really feel like I'm falling. I just know I need to count 5, 6. All I feel is wind. Wind, 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 yet I feel weightless. This is such a weird sensation. 7, 8, 9, 10. Look up. Fucking thank God. I see a square. I see my 4 lines. They're straight. I got a square and I'm straight, or a rectangle, and I'm fucking straight lines. Hallelujah. I am not a godly woman, but at that moment, holy fucking shit, I was happy to be alive. And I did it. I overcame my fear. That thrill was still coursing through me. And I reached up, grabbed the little Velcro handle things. You don't pull down because that would like tighten it, and I just grabbed them and kind of just chilled there. I had a little radio so that the girl could talk to me. There was like somebody from the ground who would coach me which way to turn. And I'm just coursing through, and you just look at all the scenery. You can see the horizon farther than I've ever been able to see it before. And the crops look like patchwork. It looks like a quilt blanket because it's full of patchwork. Southern Ontario, it's all farmland and agricultural. So it's just really cool, amazing sight, and to see the clouds. And it was in the middle of the day. It was like around, I was like 12:31, and it was hot. It was in the middle of summer. So man, just that feeling was so, I could have stayed on that parachute floating down forever. It was like the world's best swing. You know, when you're up on that swing and you get that top, that split second of just weightlessness feeling. That I was addicted to that feeling as a kid too. That feeling, that whole sensation of skydiving was really pretty cool. So let me just finish up. When I landed, I remember sliding in on my butt and my legs were forward. I just kind of slid in and I was like, what? And I just laid back. I'm like, oh my God, I'm on the ground. I'm safe. I looked up at the sky. I'm like, fuck, yeah, I did it. I just started kicking my legs. And then you remember, you gotta like take in your chute or the wind will catch you and you'll start fighting the wind or blow away. So yeah, that was a really good experience. So I got to go again a second time for free, and that was fucking just as awesome. I didn't pussy out the first time. I let go. I was like, I don't want to. I did it. And then I was gonna go a third time. This time it was gonna be at a different facility. It was gonna be at the Burnaby Skydive Club. That's in Port Colborne, Ontario, and that's actually where I used to see them as a kid. So I was kind of excited to go for a full circle and jump there. To do the jump, it was actually collecting donations for, I think it's called the Niagara Peninsula Children's Centre, and that's like a place that helps kids with physical disabilities. I'm not sure if mental disabilities as well, but any type of issues where they need extra help in the family. So I did a great job at collecting donations, but as the jump was getting closer, something inside me was getting scared, and I just kept going, repeating in my head, third time's a charm, third time's a charm, third time's a charm. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, if I go, is something gonna go wrong? And am I gonna die? And I got fucking terrified. If I went the third time, I would die. I don't know why. I just got super fucking paranoid. I was, that was probably about 10 years ago now, or so, roughly. Maybe a little bit longer than that, but yeah. So I didn't go a third time. I've only gone twice. But I think by the time Logan's 18, I think I'll have the balls to go then, by then. Because even just thinking about it now, as you can probably tell, I'm getting excited. I'm gonna wrap it up because my battery is almost dying. And I'm almost done with dishes. Yay. Oh, and I just want to say one more thing too. You may have noticed by now, this was, I think, the third episode where I had my logo set up and my photos, a banner set up on my YouTube page, and I got a cool little music down for the intro and outro here. The logo, the one with the speech bubble that says "Dish It Out," my friend Karen made that, and when she first sent me the proof for it, it was in yellow, and I first thought of like a 50s diner kind of feel was what I got from it. And I told her that, I'm like, and it's kind of funny and ironic because here I am doing typical housewife work, doing dishes, and I'm doing like this 50s vibe to it. So I thought that was funny, and that's why I kind of ran with it with the whole like apron and dish gloves and that for the photo ops. And then she's the one that actually put it together and made it look really cool how it's set up. So thanks again, Karen, for all your help with that. And I just thought that was a funny little ironic thing that maybe in a way I'm promoting misogyny? I don't know. I think that's funny. If that pushes your buttons, let me know. Leave a comment, like, share, subscribe. I really appreciate it. Tell all your friends so I can start getting paid by YouTube and get paid to do the dishes and not just be a poor, lonely old housewife with the camera. Thank you. Again, I apologize for the shitty accents. Peace out.